All good things must come to an end. Yes, we heard it before, but in this case, Chris Kreider, who has developed great leadership, have performed many times for the Rangers. His time for the Rangers is officially done. He is now traded to the Anaheim Ducks. I am here with my frequent collaborator, Jason Guido.
Mike, good morning.
Good morning, Jason. It was gonna happen at some point. So,
Right.
but obviously these changes have been made since last year. This team that won the President's Trophy, piece by
Right.
piece, are going away. So so now the Rangers, they received prospect Carey Terrence
Right. In
and
the
a third
center.
round and a third round pick. And the Rangers also sent a fourth round pick to Anaheim.
Right.
So Chris Kreider, in 123 Stanley Cup playoff games, he posted 582 points. No, 76 points in the postseason. But during
Right.
his time with the Rangers, 582 points, 326 of them came in goals. He's clearly a beloved figure in this Rangers organization. So I'm pretty sure that a lot of Ranger fans, they're bummed out about this. But yes, he's was the Rangers' longest tenure player.
Correct.
But this is the business of sports, and the Rangers feel like they need a change is necessary. They need to move the needle. So, do you feel that? So, my question to you is: Are the Rangers going to rebuild or reload?
I think they're gonna do a reload because the trade, in my opinion, they let Kreider go. They freed up $6.5 million. Yeah, 6.5 million he was making over the next couple of seasons. So they'll be able to put that in to the free agent market and possible more trades. So the Rangers have some players who are still veterans. I don't see them going into a full rebuild. So I think for this upcoming season, Drury, the GM, he's going to try to make some more trades and bring in some free agents, and then try to run it back with that team for this upcoming season. Again, we discussed this. It's funny because last season when the Rangers lost against the Panthers, I actually discussed with you that if the Rangers didn't win the Stanley Cup this season, which they didn't even make the playoffs, as we know, that they were going to probably break up the core of this team. So that's what Drury has done, including firing the coach, bringing in Mike Sullivan back to the Rangers. So I think that they're going to try to answer your question. Yes, I think they're going to try to reload at least for this upcoming season. I think we'll see more trades coming too. I think real quick, I think I could see Zanajeb being traded and Andre Miller, the defenseman. I could see him not coming back either to long-time Rangers. So I could see those guys being traded as well.
This is the second big piece that the Rangers have traded. First, it was Jacob Trouba,
Right.
and now Chris Kreider. Chris Kreider even have said that Jacob has been one of the best teammates he played with. Chris Drury, he's definitely gonna now that they free up some space on their
Right.
salary cap, they're gonna try to pursue getting someone during free agency. Um,
Yeah,
but
they have about
clearly,
$15 million in cap space now with this trade as of going
yeah,
right now.
right, and they won't be retaining any of Chris Kreider's salary,
Right,
so
which is good.
which is
Which is
good.
good.
Yeah, if you think of business standpoint, that's good on their part.
Yes.
What do you think the Rangers need, and who do you think they should pursue? This is no right or wrong answer. It's just your opinion.
I don't know who they could pursue would be. I would have to look at the free agents. There's a few guys I would get in, maybe Mariner, but he might get a lot of money. He might get $14 million a year. But I would have to really look. I'm not sure what they could do because I could see them making a trade and maybe bringing in another big scorer that way. But in my opinion, it wasn't just the scoring, it wasn't just the power play was bad again. It was the defense and the team defense, as we discussed multiple times in this past season, where they were not getting back as a defensive unit in their own zone, or having trouble with odd man rushes going back on Shazirkin. So I think they're going to look to bring in more defensive minded players. You would like to bring in, of course, two-way players, but those are few and far between to have a big time scorer who can play defense for the most part. But I think that's what the Rangers are going to try to focus on, more of a let's play defense first and counter and score, and then score on the power play team. I think that's what they're going to try to build up for the upcoming season. That's
Yeah,
why they brought in, like, they signed Will Borgen, the defenseman. So if they change some of the defensemen out, if you're doing it even in the past season, and they did that, in my opinion, as a setup to bringing in a better defensive overall unit for the upcoming season.
clearly it was a disappointing end to their season. And the Rangers are, if you look at it now, they're not even nowhere near close to compete with the Panthers.
No,
Especially if the Panthers bring back Brad Marchand, which clearly he's not missing a step. He's 37.
no,
He became the oldest player to score in 3 consecutive Stanley Cup final games. So, and they were close of going up 3-1 yesterday, but gotta give credit to Edmonton. They came back
no.
and rallied.
Yeah, that was
And
some game.
this is one of the best Stanley Cup Finals series that I've seen so far. 3 of the 4 games are going to overtime, and the fact that you had a comeback. Game 2, it was Florida who came back, and now Game 4, Edmonton came back. So
Right,
this series is giving all of us hockey fans more than what we expect.
right. And I always said, like, I remember, like last night, the Panthers had a 3-0 lead, I believe, early in the game, and either one or two things are either going to happen. Either you're going to have a blowout, or the Oilers were going to get back into it. It was 3-1, then 3-2, then the next thing they know, it was 3-3, and then from there on, it was game 4-4. They went to overtime, and I think the puck went off a defenseman or in front of, however, went in overtime, but it was sort of like a strange goal, and Edmonton got the win in overtime to tie the series.